Hi, I'm Lee Olmstead, and in this video I'm going to go over the introduction to the Go Math book, point out some of the various features that are available to you. All of this is from the student interactive math that will be available for you guys online, so that's kind of a neat thing. And I want to point out some of the areas that we're going to be using, and it's going to be able to help you guys out. So as we kind of scroll through, kind of get down here, this is all the front matter and everything. Here's a table of contents, pretty much tells you where everything is. If you also notice, it tells us what our standards are going to be for, so like the number system is one of our standards, and in here it breaks it down on how the modules are going to address each of those standards. So that goes to our standards-based grading that we were talking about in the Flip Mastery Learning videos. And I want to keep on going down. You can see a bunch of the other ones. Okay, and then there's some features that are going to be coming up. Let me see if I can just scroll down a little bit faster. You'll be able to look through your books when you get them and go through all of that. Okay, a lot of information there. Here are the actual Common Core standards and how they're used throughout. We're going to talk about those. Here they just have them all together. Okay, so let's see, we keep on moving down. Let's see, you notice here there's some 8th grade, the 8 EE5. Okay, so that's 8th grade standards because the accelerated class is going to be everybody using the same book, but the accelerated class is has additional standards that they have to get through, so that's what addresses that. So succeeding, here they talk about a lot of stuff, things that are pointed out to you, and I want to go into those down in an actual unit that we have. Things that you can do to enhance your learning. This is all going to be part of our rework too, so things that really help you out. Okay, they talk about the math practices. I have that separate video on that. I hope you guys all check that out. It goes into a little bit more, I think, more kid-friendly for you guys. And then there's kind of a review test from what you guys have learned in 6th grade. You guys have to remember, everything that you have, prior understanding, you should have brought. And you got to remember that because we're going to be using that. You want to build off of that work. There's a benchmark test for 7th grade. Okay, kind of tells us where you would be at. Here we go. The number system. This is the first one. So when you look here, and you can see, so here's the number system is broke up into 3 modules. Adding and subtracting integers. It lists the standards. Module 2 is about multiplying and dividing integers, and Module 3 is about rational numbers. So in here they pretty much focusing on the first substandard of number system. Here's focusing on the second, and then here this kind of brings them back together, and then interspersed we have the 3rd standard that's in there. And there's also, you notice one where it says 7.EE.3 right there. That has to do with expressions and equations. Units have a project to start with. There's a talk about a math and careers there. So we can read about that in our book. I'm trying to show you real world where this particular type of math would be used at. They kind of talk about a project, and we'll look at that. Here, they help you out in trying to understand how the standards are set up, okay, and how it's arranged, and we can talk further about that. So now we get into the actual first module. So it's kind of broke up into lessons, as you can see, to make it a little easier for us. Adding integers with the same sign, integers with different signs, subtracting integers, and then applying addition and subtraction of integers. Where in the real world would we use that? As you can see here, here's our essential question. This is what you're going to be expected to have to be able to answer. So in this particular one, how can you use addition and subtraction of integers to solve real world problems? We go down a little bit further here, and some additional information that is available for you is like, here's a video. So if you click on this, then this will take you to the HRW website, and it will present a video for you. Here, let's see if I can open this up a little bit more here. Just kind of zooming in so we can see a little bit. There we go. That's a little bit better. So these are things that we're also going to be using. Math on the spot. If you see a QR code, you can use your smartphone and be able to jump right there. There's this interactively be able to explore some concepts, this animated math, and a personal math trainer that can help you out. So when you see those things as you're going through, you can click on them. So again, I'm on a student website, and notice here my cursor turns into the little finger. So are you ready? We're going to use this. This is part of our warm-ups on a day-to-day basis. Here, if I click on Personal Math Trainer, here's what happens. Another website opens up for me, and I want to have to kind of move this over here a little bit so you can see that. And this is kind of what opens up, so that there's questions and things that can be you can answer. You can see here is view. You can view examples step by step. You can go back to the textbook. You can print it out. You can check your answer down here. There's a help down here. You can move around. Okay, so there's lots of things that you can be able to get to, and we're going to use this as part of our rework. Okay, so let me go back to my first. There we go. Okay, so that's kind of one example. I gotta kind of move this around a little bit. Okay, so just different things, number lines, using that. There's a vocabulary. Okay, it tells us in this unit, this module actually, what review words and preview words that we're going to have to work with. So we have vocabulary that we're going to talk about. Sometimes they might actually be a concept. And here's something I didn't notice. Let me go click on that and see what that does. And that takes us to a multilingual dictionary, and it tells us what our, in this case, absolute value, the distance of a number from 0 on a number line, shown by this symbol here. Kind of hard to see it, but it's two parallel lines. So that's kind of interesting. I've not used that feature before, and this is my second year, so I learned something new myself. Okay, so I'm going to click out of that, and go ahead and move this back over so I can, the recording feature. So a lot of different things here. Again, this is all what's online. You'll have access to it at some point. Okay, I got to get you put into a class, and we're going to get that all squared away. Here they talk about the actual standards. So 7.ns.1. So NS is number sense. Apply and extend previous understandings of addition and subtraction to add and subtract rational numbers. Represent addition and subtraction on a horizontal or vertical number line. So this is a horizontal, and of course going this way would be a vertical. So we're going to be working with those, okay, as we go through. And then here's 7.ns.1c, and they talk about basically it's additive inverse, how p minus q is the same as saying p plus a negative q. And I'm going to set up some videos about that, and the book's going to show you how that's used. Okay, so here's another thing. If you wanted, you can go unpack the standards. You can click on that. And then we get into the actual lesson. So here in the lesson they have the standard, and you're going to see this is set up pretty much the same way throughout the entire book for all the units, for all the modules, for all the lessons. When you get down, you're going to see the essential question, which was already, the first one was actually for the unit. This is for the lesson. How do you add integers with the same sign? And then they're going to go through and they're going to show you some things. And what you're going to find that I'm going to do is I want to create additional videos that are going to focus on a specific concept for you guys to help you, you know, reinforce what you're seeing here. Okay, so this is what you're going to do at home now. Okay, you're going to look at this information. You're going to come in. You're going to take notes off the videos, and you're going to work with this. And this is kind of like where I'm going to create my videos and my work at too. There's math talk. This is kind of like a question that we'd have. Let's see where we got some other things here. So there's a vertical number line and certainly a temperature gauge, so that's a real world situation. Here's a math on the spot. Okay, so we could click on that, and that would take us to another web page, and we could do some more work if we wish. And let's see, I'm trying to look for something like here's the personal math trainer. And so again, that's another thing. Those are things I'm going to use for the rework. Okay, so we'll go on and selected answers. See all the selected answers. Okay. I know you guys are going to have the choice. Here's like homework. These are the independent practice. Okay, and going on. And I don't see a QR code, but you guys know what a QR code looks like. It's going to jump out at you. And here I've actually moved into the second lesson 1.2. Just kind of scanning down to see if there's a QR code, but I'm not going to go on any further. So, okay. So with that said, that's kind of like just an introductory on how the book is laid out. It's laid out pretty much the same way all the way through. And then at each lesson, I'm going to go in, identify some major concepts for you, create some additional videos that will help support you there so that you can look at them at any time, pause and replay, pause and replay, pause and replay. Just keep remembering that. That's going to be maybe my motto this year, pause and replay. Because then you guys can look, stop, go back, figure out, see, and then write down the questions in your notes that you might have. So, I'm Lee Olmstead. I hope you've enjoyed this video and look forward to working with you this year.